Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to some more Scrap Mechanic Survival. We are here with the starts of what I'm going to call it the Internal Material Transport System, or IMT, whatever. It's an acronym, whatever the acronym for that is. So this is the starts of it. I'm actually going to turn this into a build along / tutorial because I realize some people are looking into how to do stuff for their own Scrap Mechanic Survival worlds instead of just seeing the end results. So I'm going to try to see if I can build this and develop this along with you guys in this video, and we're going to just see how it goes. I think I want to make this a monorail system. I will have to move around some of this internal stuff to make it fit, but I think for now we're just going to have a singular path. If I want to make it into branching paths for different parts of the base that I'm going to build, oh gosh, let's just okay, that's fixed. So basically what I was saying is if I want to make branching parts, I'll have to figure that out later, but for now it's going to be just a singular monorail line going across the top, going here and then turning right there and then going over there to the in front of the farm, and then from there it's going to drop down. And so I think I have an idea of what I'm going to do, but first I'm going to figure out the materials I'll need by putting this into the... okay, that works. The materials I'll need by seeing what I need to do. I know I will need at least 2 wheels, and in fact I might actually make a template monorail system right now. Let's see if I can just... it'll take a lot of wood. I know this will definitely take a lot of wood, but it might be worth it in the end. So if I can just get it this high... it looks like we might have another raid tonight. We actually do. It's another level 6, but I'm honestly not even worried about it anymore. I think... shoot, I don't think I turned on my defenses. So what I'm going to do real quick is turn on my defenses and then start building and not even care about what happens. Fun fact in case you guys did not know already, after the raid at 4 o'clock in the morning, if there are still bots left around frozen, they will run away to, I'm assuming they run away to despawn somewhere across in the distance, and so they'll just leave your base alone. So if you're not needing the parts, like I really don't right now, you can just let them be if they're just sticking around and not attacking your base, and then they'll run away on their own. So that's something you can do as well, part of your defense system. If you can just make sure they don't attack until 4 a.m, then you'll be good. But back to what I was doing. Okay, the rail system type thing is good, I think. We'll see if it works. We're going to need to grab some more things. I think I'll need some more pipe pieces and whatnot to get the perfect connectivity. But this is fine for now. So let's see if we can get the, I guess, movement system, which is going to be on the top of this, going. I think I figured out what I want for this top row. For stability, I'm going to have 2 wheels, so I'm going to have one right here connected to that bearing, and I'm waiting on some more bearings right now, actually, so that'll be 15 seconds. And then I will have another bearing right here, and then a secondary wheel connected to that. And so that will create a, I guess, rolling system that's a bit stable since it's wider than just one, because that one is only on one wheel or one block, and so I've had to stabilize it my own way. But I think, in fact, I could do this one if I have an extra bearing right here. And so now if I put that right here, this right there, we will have 2. I can put this on the lift and connect them together if I want to, but I won't do that just yet. I want to now... we're going to have to just open up this little right here. Oh, shoot. This was not welded. Good to know. Okay. Note to self, make sure the things are connected before you start deleting things. Alright, so let's just put this right there. We can just pick it up. We can just pick it up like this. Weld it like so. I think we're going to need it one more end to do that. Cut here. Okay. Now that we've got that, let's grab some more bearings just in case. We've got a system here for wheels, and that looks pretty darn good in my opinion. This should be fine. The thing is, the electronics are going to be the hard part. So having a, I don't know what the dimensions are. This is 1, 2, by some, probably 11 by 8 by 8, I believe it might be, box to contain the resource collector. Or I think that's what this is called, resource collector. And so because it's so tall, I'm gonna need, it might work by itself, but I'm gonna actually put it on pistons. So you're gonna need 2. I just want to keep them at level 1 for now, but if I really could just use 1 level 1 piston. I don't really need 2. Let's try just using 1 level 1 piston, but it will look ugly, so I might just just for beauty's sake, I'm going to use 2. So okay, I've decided on the semi-final design. I have added 2 pistons. They are just level 1 for now because these go up to 7 length, or yeah, so 7 length or height, and that should be good enough for what we're trying to do. And so what I've done was create a little system here. It's bearing, bearing, wheel, wheel, bearing, bearing, and just little sticks coming up. And I've realized that I've kind of goofed on this right here. So what I'm going to do is say these 2 lines right here are going to come straight down here. So we're going to actually move in these, what's it called, guide rails here, so that it's a little bit more strict to the pole and can have some more stability, even though I don't think it's going to have too much. But I don't think it's going to be too much of a problem because nothing's going to be falling out, hopefully. So let's just put these here, move them in one so that they can kind of connect. And these pipe pieces, they just have a lower friction and allow more, I guess, more turning. I don't know. Maybe I'll have it all pipe pieces if I think it's too much friction, but we'll get there when we get there. For now, this is going to be how it's going to turn. The next thing we're going to do is actually get the rotation going. We're going to have a forward and backwards rotation similar to how we have it on these turrets. Let's see, let's say this will be the backwards rotation. We'll put it on, I don't know which way the front is. Which way should we make the front? I don't know which side should be the front, but let's just put it on this side anyways, just because I don't think we're not going to touch it anyways. So let's just do that. So if we put this right here and this right here, I don't think it will interfere with these wheels, or I hope it doesn't. That would be unfortunate if it does. So maybe I'll stick them off one more. Let's just do that just in case. It's okay if it has little wing looking things. And then we're going to make this the backwards rotation, and so we'll make it on the outsides. Oh, shoot. I need to upgrade these by 1. Well, that's unfortunate. Okay, well, it's fine. So we got that, and now we got this, and then this will have these on the inside. And this will be a loop at the limit of, let's see, this is on the left, so we're going to make it go to the left, and this is on the right, so we'll make it go to the right. So now we have just the basic, basic rotational bearing type steering or movement. We're going to have some tests actually right here. So if we turn it left, it's going to do this. You see that? So the thing to be aware of when doing this is rotating your bearings the proper way. So since this is going to the left, we want it to go backwards, and so that means we want this to be flipped. So now that they're going the same way, and so if we turn it off and we go right, hopefully it'll work. Let's make this the limit too. It'll fix itself. I might put it on the lift just to get it working, but while I wait for it to fix itself in proof of concept to flush out, we're actually going to add some of the logic to this thing. So next, what we're going to need is just to add some more ground space, some more real estate here. We're going to need a little bit more logic gates, and I don't know if I have the glue. Oh no. I'll need to get some glue off camera, so I'll do that soon, but right now let's get what we can. Especially as the night is coming, it's going to be fine. We can just get, let's see, a left side switch, 1, 2, 3. This will be a NOR, and this will be a NOR. This will be an OR, so this will be a bit, a singular bit. You just connect it, 1, 2, 3. It's all in a feedback loop, and this will flip this switch on and off depending on what button presses it. So say if I have a button here, let's replace this switch with a button and then a button. Say we have one connected to this one connected to that. You press one button, it flips this switch on because of the connections, and then if you press it again, it keeps it on, it won't do anything. But then you press this other button that's connected to the other side, which is the other NOR. This will be the output. This OR is the output, in case you were wondering. So you press this button, it just flips it off, turns it off, and that lets you press this button on and off again, and it won't repeat. And so you can have as many connections as you want flipping these bits, and so it's pretty good. It works. So we're going to have that for one side, and we just made the logic gates for doing the other side, although I will probably need some more in the future. So let's just set up the other side and get these connections going, and then I'll wait for daytime and get some glue at the same time. I just realized and remembered that the raid is about to start. My defenses are still on, and I actually haven't even picked up those component kits from the last raid. So let's grab those real quick. And I actually have a feeling slash hunch that the I keep getting shot from my turrets. That the raid and the positionings and the starting positions of all of the robots depends on the player's position as well. Maybe not, I could be wrong, but I think it could kind of send some towards the player. And so if I'm standing on the middle, then I'll get more folk or centralized raiders coming here. And so that'll come, but we'll see. I think I have some ammo left. Yeah, I should have enough ammo left. I'm gonna be worried about this turret, but we should be fine. So let's just get this raid over with real quick. Should be quick. Looks like we've got lots of people on the right. Lots of people in the middle, of course. They're taken care of. I just had a head almost fly off and hit me. It looks like this one is shooting at something. Oh no, I gotta turn that off. Okay. Well, let's just let those guys, die. These guys also need to die. Maybe they will. Maybe they won't. But I'm having some trouble over on the other side right there. Oh no, my turret is shooting at this thing. Okay, good to know. Alright. Now it's shooting at me. It just wasted a whole lot of bullets because of that. Oh, dang it. Okay, well, the raid's been taken care of. We can replace the ammo. That's not bad, but we'll need to figure out some way to keep it from sensing those items on the ground. We could just increase the height of the sensors on the turrets, and that'll make it better, but I'm not sure how much better it'll be. So let's see. We used quite a bit on that turret right there. Good thing we've got lots in excess. Let's just grab these out and refill the rest of them and get back to working. Alright, so we are back. It's daytime. Things aren't completely cleaned up as I left some stuff over there. My inventory got full, so whatever. We've got the two bits, the left and right, for the left and right controller. So that's forwards or backwards depending on which way you're looking at it. There is a problem though that you will notice. Scrap Mechanics has always had this kind of bug actually. If you put the item or whatever, I just completely screwed this up, but if you put this on a lift and then check the bits, you will notice that they will flicker. So this is a problem, a pretty big problem actually in Scrap Mechanic, where it just, when it gets reset, all these things kind of get in the right tick and they get all in sync or desynced and stuff like that. And so there's one way to fix it, or there's a couple ways to fix it. One is more expensive, and that requires putting a timer or something on this, or adding an extra logic gate to control all of it, but that's a bit much for me, and I don't know if I want to do that. So what I do actually is just have a singular, I call it the kill button or the reset button. I will put it right, I'm just going to put it right here in the middle, and I'm going to paint it black so I know that what it is. Usually that's what I make all my reset buttons look like, they're just black. This button will connect to, I believe it's going to be this one. Actually, what I'm going to have is make it connect to an AND gate. There we go. Yeah, that's an idea. So actually, what I will have is this button connect to an AND gate. Actually, it'll be an OR gate. And this OR gate will connect to this one, and this one will connect to that one. So that way, if I press this button, it turns it off. So I actually need to switch the two gates. So the one that turns it off will be, depending on what order you put the connections in, but it just doesn't really matter that much. So I'm going to have this button here, and this, I'll just take these back real quick, and these will turn off both of the gates. So if I press this button and check it back out, it will have turned off both of these bits. So we're good. Okay, so now we kind of got some sort of functional thing going. Not entirely sure what it is, but first I want to add a manual control right now just to test it out. We're going to have 2 buttons, and these buttons will turn on their respective side switches. And so this one will go to here to turn it on, and this one will go to this one here to turn it on. I've made them opposite so that they can, you know, look similar and somewhat even. So if I press this button, I forgot to connect them to the... Wow, okay. Okay, I'll repeat what I said. Don't forget to connect your proper switches and controllers. So output will be the corner OR, and this will be the output, be the corner OR. And as you can see, it has turned it on. Make sure you set these to be looping so that they're always moving, and as this one is too. And there you go. You press this button, it switches on, and there you go. You press this button and it stops it. Okay, and let's test it on this side. Alright, turns it on, and then if you press this button, it'll stop it. I actually might make this button in a more accessible place. I realize it may get into trouble. So what we're going to do is actually just put this button right here. That way it can be a little bit more accessible. So let's just connect it back to this AND or gate right here and repaint it black. Now, let's test it actually, what it looks like or how it feels on an actual system. I don't know how it's going to move or maneuver, especially with all this weight on the bottom, but it should work. Okay, so if I press this button, it moves. Ha, look at that. It's pretty slow, yeah, but that's to be expected. Then I press the stop button and it stops. If I press this button right here, it moves. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And now it stops. Okay, so we're going to automate this. We could just easily you know, press the button, watch it go, and then press the stop the button, but we're not about that. We're about automation in this channel. So let us get this off the lift or off the railing system and make this automated. Okay, so I think I figured out one way to automate some part of it. It's still in question. I'm still up in the air. I'm still trying to think about it and play around, but I do know that each stop, I guess, will be this stop, and then that stop over there is going to have its own trigger to send off and start up anything that might be necessary. Oh boy. I have no idea what's going on right now. What in the world? Oh no. My game just completely destroyed itself. What the heck? Stop, 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 stop. What the heck just happened? Well, I think we killed that guy, but... Oh my goodness. What the heck? Let's just put this back. Oh my gosh. It's not done yet. Oh no. Oh my gosh, my creation over there has just flipped over completely and is freaking out in the trees. This thing is like, I don't even know what it's doing right now, but we're gonna probably just have to delete it. Oh well. Win some, lose most. Seems like we're gonna have to do some major environmental cleanup in order to fix the little crazy bugs like that. Let's just flip this thing right back side up, and hopefully that'll solve some of the frame rate issues I'm also been having for some reason. So interesting. So I'm going to go back to what I was going to do after that raid. We'll show off this attempt / prototype of automation. As you can see, I put this thing up on the rails and I haven't connected everything at all yet actually, but I wanted to actually get some glue in here so I can get this going. But what I've done on the wall is have an extra bit right here connected to a timer, and what this is going to do is turn on and off a switch. Actually, I don't know where my other bit guy went, but we're gonna put you down here. So this will just be the basic nor or you know, you've seen it all here before. And what this button will do will send off this cart thing. I don't know what they call it, trolley maybe. And what this does is just turn this on, and then it will then turn this on after some time. Let's see how it goes. So Basically, what this does is just start a quick cycle that turns, it's like a timed button switch. I'm not sure how to exactly put it, but we're gonna just do that right there. Okay, so it's nor or, connect the output to a timer. It can be, I think, up to 10 to 12 seconds. I'm not entirely sure yet. We'll play that out later. And then this output will go to a piston that I actually have up there. And once I get this enough glue to make some more logic gates, I will show what we do with this piston. So now what we're going to actually do is have, instead of using a controller like I thought about doing, controllers take 3 component kits and logic gates are much cheaper. So we're going to connect this output. In fact, we're going to not connect it to this piston. We're going to connect it to this AND gate, turn it into an opposite gate, and this will connect to this piston right here. And so what this piston does is hold out just a small block of wood. We're going to add more wood to this eventually if I can. But first let's make sure we just can get up there. And this block of wood is what is going to trigger this sensor right here. And so what this sensor will connect to, or actually already is connected to, is to this AND gate that's also connected to this cancel button, which turns off every single signal possible for moving. And so basically it will stop at this point right here and then be good. So once that happens, this AND gate is actually also going to be connected to, or not this AND gate, this sensor right here is going to be also connected to, let's see, let's just actually directly connect it to these 2 pistons and see what happens. So it doesn't look pretty. I don't think it's going to be that pretty. So let's make it 7 and 7. And this is where I'm going to learn my first mistake, is I forgot to weld the 2 wheels together. So if you rewind back the video, you can see me creating the 2 pieces. And one of the things to do when creating like different separate parts is welding things together while on the lift actually welds the pieces to each other. So now these 2 wheels are connected, as are like the rest of this part of the build. And so the only things that aren't connected will be, I mean, of course, the stuff connected to bearings and then the stuff connected to the pistons. So now you won't see that weird, that lopsidedness that you saw going on earlier. So let's just put this back on. It's just as simple as pressing the up key or whatever your hotkey is used. And now it's back on. And so we're actually going to test it out right now. I believe this button makes it go backwards. And so you press this button, it starts moving this way. And then it comes back, it stops it, and we're here. So we're actually going to need to lower this. It's unfortunate, but we're going to need to upgrade it a little bit more and lower the height, or increase the height of these pistons so that it's a little bit lower to the ground. We might upgrade it later to make it even lower, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. I don't think it's super necessary right now. We're just trying to get the system working. Okay, so essentially what that does is just, you know, hold it out, places this down, and this refiner will be, it's busy right now. I have some metal in there. Let's just transfer that over. What this refiner will do will be right here. And this is actually low enough for it to reach the refiner, to be honest, but it doesn't look that good. So I might not actually have it there because it's just floating like this. It doesn't look good. And also I want to be able to reach the buttons. And so I just realized I'm going to have to make these buttons somewhere else. So let's just put this button right here and put it back to what that was. And let's actually paint this button like green or something. That means go. So this color green there. So if we press this button, it will retract that piston, causing the sensor up top to turn off, causing this to come back up. And then it will send off a signal for this to start moving forward. But right now it's just on a 10-second delay, so it goes up and down, as you can see, depending on... hold on. Yeah, there we go. It needs to wait for this timer to go off. It won't go off instantly, so that's just fine. There's never going to be a time where I'm going to need to do this repeatedly, so that's good. Okay, that's actually pretty good progress. I've got a system that stops, or should stop, this moving object and lowers the suspension or pistons down so that it can have access to this refiner right here. Now, what we're going to need to do is figure out a way to send a signal to tell this thing to move forward that direction. And that's going to be very, very interesting. So, what we may do actually, this may be an idea. I'm going to need either another timer or a controller. I think a timer will be the easiest way to do it, is to add a another sensor that's probably on this side. I think that should be fine actually. If I add another sensor on this side, that literally just connects to this bit right here. It will be, of course, 4 wide, and we will add a... I don't know where all my pistons went. Goodness, we're going to get another piston. This is actually using a lot more materials than I was hoping, but I'm just glad I have the materials in the first place because I just grinded for a whole bunch of stuff. So let's get back up there, and then we will continue our conceptualizing. Okay, we're back up, and we're going to add another piston at the same exact distance. Hopefully it won't be an uneven distance, but if it does become a problem, we can figure out more fixes. And we're going to attach wood naturally. We're also going to have to move this sensor. I put the sensor in the wrong spot. So we're going to have to actually add wood right here, and then the sensor will go there. Okay. Now this sensor will again attach to this right here, and it will be distance of 4 or whatever you want. I think 4 is the easiest. And we will add a secondary timer right... Do we actually need a timer in the first place? To be honest, if we did it at the same time, it won't do much, except if there's anything in the way, it'll probably break some things, but that's okay. So essentially what we can have is this right here. This on getting, so like see how this is connected to an off button, so it's a NAND gate right here, so that make sure that that's piston is always facing out. We're going to need this output to finally be useful to this piston to make it, once it turns on, to push out, sending a signal to this signal or this sensor and this machine right here to move forward this way. So if we just press this button, or actually it's this green button now, it works. Yeah, so now it's moving in that direction, and it's going to start heading its way over to the turning point, which is going to be the very interesting thing. I don't know exactly how to make it turn yet, but we'll figure it out when we get there. Okay, I have worked through the night actually, and I have well, there's a small raid, not important, but I have finished the railing type system of what it's going to look like. Of course, I'm going to need to make this a turning mechanism, so some of this will be erased. And in fact, what I'm going to have to do is actually make this connected on a different level. So, in order to achieve this, we are going to need to add some more support to this end of the stick. But the question is, how am I going to reach it easily? Okay, well, I've done a lot of trial and error type stuff, but there is a way to make it turn. And so what I have here is a simple, this is manual so far, a manual turning apparatus that it will literally just roll itself onto, right? And then you flip the switch, it goes here, and then it will roll itself off that way. So it's pretty simple. It's like the train things. I'm sure there are people who have done this in Scrap Mechanic in probably way cooler and easier and complex ways, but this is the way I could get it to work in survival. So what we're going to need is just a singular controller and a couple pistons, I think, to get this thing triggered properly. Oh my goodness, after so long, I think I might have finally figured it out. Oh my gosh, that was terribly long. It was a very long time. So I think I figured it out. Let's test it out one more time and then I'll explain what I did. Alright, so it's going to come along, right? It comes to this little cornerstone piece. This is, I might need to either like lengthen it out because it bends when it goes down and that might cause some problems, but so far it goes on and it comes to it. It's slowing down for some reason, but it gets there. It turns, it stops, and then it sends it out this way. Okay, all right, cool. I think we got it working. I don't know if it's going to work 100% of the time, but it should never like come to the point where it fails completely and I'll have to restart. So that's good. Let's just put this back in the middle there. And let me explain exactly what I did. So to explain this little turning piece here, I had a controller, this little logic gate that really isn't necessary. It's just an AND gate, but it's there just in case. And then I have 2 pistons and a sensor. This sensor is set to 3 right here. And oops, this is what's making me spend my time. I keep on falling off this thing on accident. So that's hilarious. Let me just stop this one right here. Let me shoot that reset button. I have 2 pistons controlling blocks right here. What I've added onto this, hopefully, did I just trigger it? No, I didn't. Okay. What I've added onto this are 2 more sensors. So that's a total of 4 sensors on this thing. This one is all stop button, is similar to this one right here. It connects to this little AND gate and just sends a stop signal to both motors, making it not move at all. So that way, once it reaches to this point, it just stops moving. This piston comes out. Oh, I did trigger it on accident. Let me just fix that real quick. There we go. So it sees that block piston right there, tells everything to stop moving, and it just stops moving on this piece, which is good. Next is this trigger right here, which tells it to start moving this motor, which moves it backwards that way. And so essentially what it will do, it will come here, it will see this stop and this start and just completely stay stopped because it just conflicts with itself, so it doesn't move. And then eventually I have this controller set up. It's not a perfect controller setup, I don't think. I think I have some bugs in it, but it works, so I'm just going to leave it at that. And so what it does is it makes it turn 90 degrees, so it flips it to whichever direction it is going, depending on whether the switch is on or off. And then what happens is it makes this piston, which is already moved out, go back in, so it doesn't tell it to turn anymore. And then it moves it out again after this all stop has been triggered. And then this all stop comes back in, telling it to move back that way. So I think I can actually edge this down a little bit so I don't have to worry about it, but this is just so it doesn't break. It's just going to be a little bit slower for now. So that probably wasn't really well explained, but it gets the job done. And honestly, it's been so long, I want to just get this episode over with. Oh my gosh, me trying to figure this out. So all I need to do is just duplicate this one, which is another dual piston setup, along with a memory bit and a NOT gate and a timer. So let me see. Let's see. What do I have? I have 1 piston. I have a timer. I have a memory bit. I'm going to have need another piston. Do I have another one? I do. Okay. So all I need to do is just duplicate this somehow. See if I remember how. And then I think I'll have the entire transport system set up. I've been recording for so long, I think my computer's starting to run out of memory, so I need to watch that. Okay, so now we've got most of them out the way. We can mess with those other ones later. Let's make it go back. It comes up. That's the problem here. So this is something that I thought would be a problem. Because controllers seem to be set for only certain degrees, they like to kind of move back to their original positions or certain positions before they stop. And one solution to that, for me, I think, is adding a timer here, which keeps it rolling until it for a little bit longer before it stops. So let me just stop it here. And then let's see, I'm trying to figure out a good place to put this timer, because I don't have a lot of space on this thing anymore. I don't think this will add too much weight on it, so I think we're okay. Okay, so now what this does is it will stop I'll remove it directly from this stopper, so this stops it immediately. But if I put this on maybe 1 second delay or so and then going to the stop, however, these will still come down. I believe that it will come up and then spend a little bit more time trying to get to the edge of this, and then have a better chance of it trying to stopping at a good position. So let's bring it back a little bit. Maybe. Hello? I don't know what is going on, but let's just do a quick reset and then press it again. All right. And now it's going. Uh-oh. It did it again. Huh. I wonder if there's a better solution to this. Let's see. Let's just go here. It comes and it goes, it stays. It's actually picking up these things, which is nice. And that's good. I think it's good. Maybe. But anyway, so let's just, you know, fill it up with what we've got. We've got some extra stuff here. We can actually replace the things if we want to. We can just kind of replace them with empty ones. Okay, and so we've got it filled up. And then we just press this button, which should bring it up. And then hopefully it will... well, it brought it up. Oh, because I forgot to attach to this one. So I take the output. Let's see, where is it? I think it's this one. I take the output onto here. This should be fully functional. And then I press the button. That goes, and it's too far away, but it did sense it. Okay. All right. I might have actually just gotten it. I'm not sure, but I think I did. All right, so let's just actually watch this. We'll do a little, you know, speed motion, or what's it called? Time lapse of it coming, or going over to the next part, and we'll follow it and see what happens. All right, it's reached the end. It's brought the thing down. And actually, let's just flip this over here. And it sucks it in, and that's actually pretty good. I might keep the pistons that long because the terrain over there is a bit higher than it is around here. So we should just leave it there for now. Let's see. I can now move all this stuff. This will take some time, but I'll do it. All right, and now we've moved everything over here. So now we have a good resource collecting place, and it's not terrible actually. I kind of like it. I kind of like it a lot. So now, the way to automate this even more is to get rid of this button altogether. I do not know actually how long it takes for one of these whole things to be emptied. But I'm going to assume it'll take like maybe 2 or so minutes. I'm not sure. Maybe I'll do 2 minutes for now, and then we'll see what it looks like. But I think what I'm going to do is actually leave this sensor right here. I can move it up to the side or something, make it a little bit cleaner. Actually, let's just do that right now. We put a sensor right here, have it sensing for any boxes that get in the way, and then we just have a quick what's the word, timer here. We just connect that here, and then connect that there, and then we connect that to where the button was, which is right here, and now it moves it back up, and it should be good. So let's make this a full 60 seconds, and this one another full 60 seconds, and hopefully it'll work. So we're gonna wait until the daytime, and we're gonna show what it will look like if I get this fully functional, and we'll use that full block of resource collecting and metal pretty much, and we'll show it in the daytime, do a quick time lapse, and then we'll end the episode. I'm really excited that this is working out. It took a lot more effort than I thought it would, but I'm glad that I got it figured out. Alright, the scenario is this. You had a full day or a couple days of AFK farming, because that's what you can do with this pretty much flawless defense system. You can just sit here and make sure you have enough food and water, of course, and just let this thing automatically go if you connect it to a repeating timer, which I will be doing soon. And now you're like, oh man, look at all this crap. I've got all this stuff to do and all this like stuff to clean up because of all the hay bust I got murdered. And so you've got a full resource collector just chilling here. You're like, okay, I need to get this all scrapped, but I also want to get this resource collector back. So let me just put this in here and press the button. Forgot to paint it green because green means go. And then you press the button and you watch it go. So let's just get at a good vantage point and watch it go and wait for it to come back empty, hopefully. Hopefully it'll come back empty. If it doesn't, then we can just make the timer longer. But either way, we'll end the episode. Okay, I can say that mission was a semi-success. It is coming back with about a little bit under half a tank or half a resource collector full of robot parts. So I'll just have to increase that to about 3.5, maybe probably 4 minutes to make it safe. So just about 4 minutes to get through all those parts, but it's coming back here and it should see this wall and put everything down shortly, like so. All right, there we go. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So now what we can do is either, you know, fill it up, fill it back up, do what we can with it, and, you know, do everything, and then we're all good. But wow, I'm actually kind of excited that this works. This will save me a little bit of time, and instead of me having to run back and forth with this, just one of these things and picking it back up and all the time, I can just literally press one button and it'll do everything for me, and I can stay in the same spot for my AFK farming and not have to worry about too many things going on. So that's good. I'd say that's good progress. Next episode, we are going to probably work on a new vehicle. So stay tuned for that. But until we get there, I hope you guys have a great morning, night, evening, or afternoon, and I will see you guys next time.